1 minute. 120. Go. 1 minute. Down. Good. Good speed. Good speed. Good speed.
Yeah, so seeing Pat Downey in Khamzat's camp is exciting for me for a few reasons. Obviously, the strength, the power, the size of Pat Downey. DDP's a big dude, but if you see kind of the explosive power that Pat Downey has, watching Khamzat being able to dictate his kind of move on Pat, I think is very, very important. The way Pat can kind of shoot, his technical ability to scramble, his technical ability to have, heavy explosive power. At the same time, he's super strong. That's the type of sparring partner Khamzat needs going into a fight with DDP. DDP is a massive dude.
He's going to be a nightmare for Chimaev. I think Dricus is a monster. Hits very hard, doesn't break. Good gas tank. I do believe Dricus is gonna beat Chimaev and remains the champion.
Khamzat Chimaev is training like a beast for his title fight against Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319. According to his teammates, he's been gassing out everyone in the gym. Even fresh rested bodies can't keep up with him. They describe him as an absolute savage who trains with the same intensity he brings into the cage. Whether it's sparring with friends or preparing for a title fight, Khamzat goes full throttle, and they believe that once fight night comes, he'll unleash that same energy to take the belt.
He was like just gassing all the guys out, even like new guys will come and like he would still gas the guys out. So super excited that it's like, man, everybody talks about his cardio this, his cardio that, and the guy's literally an animal. The way he trains and he trains and he's like having fun at the same time, That's why he's like or kill people or smash, however you want to say it, like in the cage, is just because of the way he is. If at training with friends he's like that with that intensity, man, when he closes that cage, of course the fight night's just going to be amazing. Make him just go over there and get his belt and do what he does at training, just perform the same way in the cage.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan reacted to Dricus du Plessis, offering Khamzat Chimaev $10,000 for every takedown by saying Dricus wouldn't make any money from that fight. He said taking Dricus down wouldn't be hard, and joked that Dricus would end up giving all his money to Khamzat.
Dricus said he'll give him $10,000 for every time he's able to take him down.
Yeah, but just take him down. It's not difficult, but hold him is more difficult. So, but if he's really thinks like he's gonna pay his 10,000, he's not gonna make money from that fight. He's gotta give all his money to Khamzat.
When asked about a good strategy for Khamzat Chimaev, Arman Tsarukyan pointed out that Khamzat tends to approach every fight the same way. According to Arman, Khamzat sticks to his usual game plan and isn't likely to change his approach, even against someone like Dricus du Plessis.
What is a good strategy Khamzat is looking at in terms of, going at Dricus?
He does every fight the almost same things, and he's not gonna change anything.
On the other hand, Gilbert Burns gave high praise to Dricus du Plessis, calling him a nightmare matchup for Khamzat Chimaev. Having trained with Dricus extensively, Burns described him as extremely strong, with wild cardio and powerful striking. He predicted that Khamzat would come out aggressively as usual, but if Dricus survived the early storm, the fight would shift. Burns believed Dricus would endure the early danger, take over in the later rounds, and ultimately beat Chimaev to remain champion.
I trained with Dricus a lot. Dricus is actually a very, very good fighter. Crazy cardio, very physically strong. He's a very hard fight to predict. I think Chimaev is going to start very strong like he always do. I do believe Dricus can kind of slow him down, don't get submitted, relax a little bit. But I do believe Dricus, if he get past that first round, I think that's the hardest part. What I think he will do, I think he's gonna pass, and then he's gonna be a nightmare for Chimaev. I think Dricus is a monster, hits very hard, doesn't break, good gas tank. I do believe Dricus is gonna beat Chimaev and remain the champion.
Bilal Muhammad picked Khamzat Chimaev to beat Dricus du Plessis, warning people not to doubt Chimaev's cardio. He acknowledged DDP's awkward style and pressure, but pointed out that Dricus often gets hit and relies on tiring opponents out. Bilal believes if Chimaev stays composed and doesn't burn out in the first round, especially by avoiding an all-out takedown attempt early, he'll have the edge.
Who do I got, DDP or Chimaev? Honestly, I mean, I think too many people are counting out Chimaev's cardio. I think where Khabib said it best, if he stands up with him and strikes with him, I think he'll do well. DDP is an awkward style, but he does get hit a lot. And he breaks a lot of guys with fatigue. If Chimaev doesn't come out super hard in the first round, trying to take him down and letting out all his energy, I think he'll be fine if he keeps it standing. And then maybe the later rounds, you try to wear on him a little bit, but you don't want to go out for that kill in the first round. And DDP just plays defensively. He's strong, obviously. And then you end up burning yourself out for 4 rounds. So he needs to be smart, especially in this 5-round fight. But I got Chimaev. I think Chimaev's a lot crisper on the feet and definitely crisper on the ground.
However, Robert Whittaker believes Khamzat Chimaev's only real shot at beating Dricus du Plessis is in the first round. He's confident Khamzat will get the takedown early, but if he can't finish Dricus right away, Whittaker doesn't see him winning the fight.
A title fight that is coming up as well. 2 guys that you've been in there with. How do you see that one playing out between Dricus and Khamzat?
Yeah, I think Khamzat will definitely take Dricus down. I just think if he doesn't finish him there, I don't think he wins the fight.
Robert Whittaker further said that he doesn't see anyone stopping Khamzat Chimaev's takedowns because they're just too high level. For him, the real question is whether Dricus du Plessis can survive those early grappling exchanges and drag the fight into the later rounds. He pointed out that Dricus has a pattern of wearing opponents down and coming back strong, saying if Khamzat can't finish him early, then Dricus will likely take over and win, just like he always does. Robert Whittaker stated, "I can't see anyone really stopping Khamzat's takedowns. They're super high level and hard to stop. The question is, can Dricus drag it into the later rounds? Can he survive the early grappling exchanges and start capitalizing with his persistence and that dogged pressure?" Honestly, if Khamzat can't get DDP out of there early, Dricus wins. He wins almost every fight like that. You just can't get rid of him. He's relentless. On the contrary, Shara Bullet Magomedov showed full confidence in Khamzat Chimaev ahead of his title fight with Dricus du Plessis. He completely dismissed Dricus' chances, saying Chimaev has very strong hands and predicted fans would only remember his name with 2 seconds of silence after the fight.
Very soon there's going to be a championship fight between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev for the middleweight title. How do you think the fight will play out, and who do you think was going to get his hand raised? As I said before, Dricus is in very good, strong hands in this fight, and we will make sure to remember his name with 2 seconds of silence afterwards.
Khabib Nurmagomedov also shared his thoughts on Dricus du Plessis ahead of his title defense against Khamzat Chimaev. He described Dricus as a relentless pressure fighter who never stops moving, constantly throwing punches and kicks. While his strikes aren't always precise, Khabib praised his volume and ability to overwhelm opponents with non-stop action. Khabib Nurmagomedov said, "DDP is an interesting opponent. He is very strong. He will fight. Such a unique kickboxing. Throwing out arms and legs. What's bad about Dricus is that he is not super accurate. He throws out a lot. He is always throwing arms and legs and always attacking. If you watched, even with Strickland, I made a big mistake in this fight. I thought that Strickland should take everything with his pressure, but he outdid him. He throws in a lot, but he doesn't stand." Khabib Nurmagomedov advised Khamzat Chimaev to keep the fight standing against Dricus du Plessis, believing Khamzat has the advantage in striking. He warned him not to rush an early finish and emphasized the risk of fading if the fight drags on. Khabib pointed out that while Dricus has shown toughness in deep waters, Khamzat hasn't truly been tested in the later rounds. Khabib Nurmagomedov added, "I think that my personal opinion is that I would advise Khamzat to fight him standing. Imagine if I did it, I would advise differently. Just let them go. Purely in boxing, Khamzat is better. Purely in boxing, this is my opinion. There is just such a moment here. You can force the events. There is a round 2, but if you don't finish him, you will waste a lot of energy, and then you need to do it in championship fights. Former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya explained why Dricus du Plessis' style is so difficult to deal with. He said DDP is stubborn and unpredictable. Either he'll land something wild or miss completely, but he keeps coming forward. Adesanya gave him full credit, saying it's even funny to watch at times because Dricus makes his awkward style work. Despite how unorthodox it looks, Adesanya admitted DDP is extremely effective and deserves respect for making it work at the highest level.
I think Khamzat with DDP will be next. Who knows when that's gonna be?
He does the craziest shit and somehow he lands. Or somehow he'll miss a punch and somehow he'll take down.
He's stubborn, man. It's even funny to watch. I give him all the respect. He's so good at what he does, no matter what. What did I say before? He's the best fighter in the world. But somehow he makes it look good.
Marab's kind of like the same way. Even Bilal.
Nah, Marab strikes better.
It's the mixing of the fight.
Yeah, mixing. In MMA, there's always phases. Like there was a phase where the strikers were on top. So it's a trend. And then people see enough tape. We know how to handle this now. Now we have to reshuffle the deck.
UFC Hall of Famer Tito Ortiz also predicted that fans would finally see how dangerous Khamzat Chimaev really is. While he gave respect to Dricus du Plessis as the champion, he believed Dricus was in for a rude awakening, especially during the wrestling exchanges. Tito expected Chimaev to dominate and overwhelm du Plessis within 3 to 4 rounds.
How do you predict that fight plays out?
People are gonna see how vicious Chimaev truly is. I respect the guy. He's a monster. Du Plessis, the champ, I think he's in him for a rude awakening because he's going to realize that his wrestling is not as good as Chimaev's truly is. I think I would give it maybe 4 rounds, 3 to 4 rounds. I think Chimaev just overwhelms him too much. I think.
On the other hand, Kamaru Usman believes Khamzat Chimaev can definitely take Dricus du Plessis down and control him early. He said Khamzat is a nightmare in the first round when he's fresh and strong. While Usman thinks Khamzat can hold Dricus down, he's not sure he can finish him, calling Dricus very tough and relentless.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Could he get him down 100%? But could he keep him down? The guy likes to scramble.
Khamzat is hell in that first round. He is hell when he's dry like that and he's big and strong. Well, I think he can do that to Dricus. I think 100% he could take Dricus down. Can he keep him down? I think he can keep him down. But
really,
can he get the finish? I don't know if he can get the finish because Dricus is very, very tough. There's a reason Dricus is the champion. He's very tough and Dricus will not stop trying. Will Khamzat take him down? Yes. Could he keep him down? Yes. Maybe the whole first round, but
yeah.
I'm gonna finish him. I don't know.
Henry Cejudo pointed out that while Dricus du Plessis may not have the best hands, his constant scrambling and refusal to stay on the bottom make him a tough matchup for someone like Khamzat Chimaev. He said Khamzat's style works best early, but raised concerns about what happens if the fight goes longer. Reflecting on Khamzat's fight with Usman, Henry Cejudo noted that it was close, and if it had gone 5 rounds, things might have changed.
Khamzat Chimaev, he put it on Robert Whittaker. That being said, Dricus du Plessis that necessarily doesn't have the best hands, but the fact that he brings in the grappling and that he likes to scramble and he doesn't stay on bottom and he's looking to get up, that's what makes that fight problematic for a guy like Khamzat Chimaev against Kamaru Usman. It was a close fight, but as we saw that third, you almost kind of start to wonder, what if Kamaru did have more time? And what if this fight was 5 damn rounds? Think about it, guys. The time that he was tested was against Gilbert Burns. If Khamzat doesn't get it done within the first round or even second, to me, it is all DDP.
Henry Cejudo further said he personally thinks Dricus du Plessis would beat Khamzat Chimaev. He pointed to DDP's scrambling and conditioning, saying he's not easy to submit and might be one of the top 3 toughest guys in the UFC right now. If DDP beats someone like Khamzat, Cejudo said he'd love to see him move up and challenge the winner of Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Kamaru Usman agreed and said if DDP gets through those top guys, a move to fight Pereira would make sense.
I personally think he beats up Khamzat Chimaev. I think DDP is scrambly, and I think his conditioning, bro. I don't think it's going to be easy to submit. Maybe the top 3, maybe greatest right now cardios in the UFC. Obviously, Merab is 1, and then you can go 2, 3. But whatever it is, he looked freaking good, and he looked so good that 5th round where he was like, hey, I was able to go another 5 more rounds. And if he beats a guy like Khamzat Chimaev, I would love for him to go up and then fight the winner of Alex Pereira and Ankalaev.
I agree. If he's able to get through those guys, I would like to see see him potentially fight Alex Pereira.
Meanwhile, Caio Borralho said he believed Khamzat Chimaev would win because most fighters don't prepare for him the right way. He explained that Khamzat doesn't wrestle like a traditional wrestler and has his own unique system and rhythm. According to Caio, unless someone truly understands Khamzat's style first, they won't be ready, and that's why he thinks Khamzat will run through everyone. Caio Borralho stated, "I think Khamzat is going to win because I don't see anyone truly preparing for him the right way. They bring in wrestlers to train for takedown defense and all that, but Khamzat doesn't wrestle like a traditional wrestler. He has his own system, his own rhythm. You need to understand what he's doing first before you even begin preparing for him. That's why I think he's gonna run through people." However, Jamahal Hill said he leaned toward Dricus du Plessis because every time he doubted him, Dricus proved him wrong. He pointed out that Dricus might look tired, but actually has better cardio and physical strength that could be a problem for anyone. He felt Dricus had an awkward striking style that's hard to time, and believed he would land shots. Still, he gave credit to Khamzat Chimaev as one of the best natural grapplers who can also strike.
I probably favor DDP in that one, just for the simple fact of I've doubted this dude so many times now, and he's shut me up bad every time. It may look like he's like fatiguing or he's like slowing down, but he's really not. I think he's got the better cardio. His physical strength, I believe, can pose a problem for anybody in that division. We've seen Khamzat fade over the course of rounds before. I just believe Dricus has a really, really awkward way of throwing strikes that's not easy to time, get a read on. So I believe he will land. So I probably lean more towards DDP, but you can't count a guy like Khamzat out. I believe he's one of the best natural pure grapplers. He does have the ability to throw some hands too, so it's interesting.
UFC welterweight Michael Chiesa picked Dricus du Plessis to win, praising his sharp execution and strategic approach. He acknowledged that Khamzat Chimaev is dangerous early, but felt the momentum would shift if the fight went long. Chiesa believed du Plessis could keep a steady pace and outlast Khamzat to get the win.
Man, I think that it goes to Dricus. I think Dricus, you know, we've all kind of criticized him for, you know, I just gotta say it as it is. We've all criticized Dricus for having these sloppy fights, but that last Sean Strickland fight, he looked a lot more polished. He fought a completely different game plan. He used all of his weapons very well. And, you know, Chimaev's a sprinter, and nobody's going to beat Chimaev in a sprint. But if he can't put you away in the sprint, it's going to go to the person that can run a marathon. And Dricus du Plessis has shown he can fight 25 minutes very, very hard. You know, you give Kamaru Usman 2 more rounds in that Chimaev fight, I think he wins it. So as long as Dricus cannot get put away by the sprint from Khamzat Chimaev and take him into deep water, Dricus gets the job done.
So that's all we have from today's video, and hopefully you have enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about Khamzat versus DDP's matchup in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel to get more updates about their ongoing beef.